So I've been making games for a while now, and I wanted to take a trip down memory lane by ranking a lot of my old games, starting from games that are somewhat decent to games that I absolutely hate with every cell in my body. Let's get started. Now, to some of you who are new to my content, this might be a bit confusing, but this Smiley's Rec Center was not the first. There was originally a game made in August of 2024. I originally made this game when I was 13 years old, and here are my thoughts on it. If you want to play the game, the link to all my games are in the description. First, the problems I have with this game. One problem I mainly have with this game is how horribly optimized this game was. I'll just show you some footage. I'm in the original project file for the game. When I was saying this game was horribly optimized, I meant it. Look how many of these individual trees are here. I bet these trees are really high poly too. Another reason I don't like the optimization is all of the map is made out of individual cubes stacked up to make walls. That's not really good for optimization. Also, I hate how I made the power turning on. So all of these lights are turned off. If I open the blueprints, so if you walk near the power switch, it turns on the lights by doing all of this. What is this? Why did I make it like this? And so it just basically turns on a bunch of individual lights. Why did I do it like that? Also, the library part. This part is probably the least optimized out of every map in the entire game. If you ever had performance issues on this map, this is why. First, the fence. The fence is made out of each individual fence piece. Go figure, because we saw the trees earlier. Once again, the map is made out of a bunch of cubes, which just makes it a lot worse. This button was made out of 2 cylinders. And then the model right here is really bad. Just to show you how laggy this is, my computer costs a lot of money. So, look at how laggy I am. This map performs horribly. I think you get the point. This game is really unoptimized. Now, it's no surprise to anyone that these models are really bad, but I think I should just address it anyway. Look at these models. I couldn't get the materials because, I don't know. But let's just see them in wireframe mode. Oh, look at that. Optimization is horrible. Once again, same with this one. Oh, look at that. The sphere is horribly optimized. As well as Smiley, as well as Orange Smiles, as well as other Smiley. Oh yeah, by the way, Joyful Cyan uses the exact same model as Smiley, just with different colors. Look at these shoes. Look at how many vertices these shoes have. Well, how many times did I subdivide this? Okay, I was able to get the materials working on the original Smiley model, but comparing this model to the new one is actually crazy. Let's go in wireframe mode. Look at how much better optimized this model is than this crackhead looking thing. Like, the shoes are still really annoying me. How many triangles does this have? It has 500,000 triangles. What the heck, man? Yes, I am crashing out over a model I made 2 years ago. I just want you guys to know, this model has more triangles than all of the characters in Garten of Ben 1. That is crazy. Compared to this one has 7,000 triangles. And the shoes are much better optimized and they just look better. These look like slugs. These look like slugs on his feet. And they are horribly optimized. Look at how many these triangles are. But I think you get the point. These models suck. There are still some things I did quite right in this chapter. Like the Gray's Frown chase. Yeah, it may be basic, but for the time, it was pretty good because I didn't know how to use Blender and all that stuff really well, like how I can now. So if you've ever watched a Polymars video, you might be familiar with this. This was basically just his popular game, Sussy School Grounds, but I made it as a joke, and worse than the original. And for what it is, it works well. Oh my gosh, I really hate this sound effect. The gameplay is simple enough. You just collect 8 bananas to go into the school and not get caught by Sussy Wussy, which He looks kinda weird. And once again, it's probably horribly optimized, so whatever. The whole environment is just made out of cylinders and cubes and spheres and random models I got off of Sketchfab. That's pretty much the whole game, so if you're going into this expecting some epic Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 type gameplay, you'd be wrong. It's very lackluster. This one's actually a pretty old game. I originally made this in 2022, but I got a new computer and I remade it in 2024. And the gameplay goes as follows. Upon opening the game, you are in a burning building and you have 2 minutes to escape the building before it explodes. So you push down this box and get this ball from this corner room. You use your gun to move the ball around the map and put it into the corner. Once you get it in the hole in the corner, the door opens and you escape and succeed. Stay in the burning building too long, it explodes and you die. This game is pretty bad. It's just the Unreal Engine first-person template with the map and a bit of more coding. So yeah, not really much here. It's just pretty bad. Oh boy, do I have stuff to say about this game. This series has 3 entries, each introducing a new mascot every entry. Upon opening the first game, you can notice the chase music, as well as this guy, Magic Jerry. He decides to chase you for some reason. So then you do the only noticeable thing, go in this very obvious vent right here. In case you couldn't tell, I put a note there. Then you're in the vents, and Magic Jerry starts chasing you through the vents, like Huggy Wuggy. But then he disappears. That's why they call him Magic Jerry. Then you see the Zolphius face thing. I don't really know. But then you're in this staircase with the drone that's broken for decoration. It prompts you to use your flashlight and then you go down the stairs. Upon going down the stairs, you're met with Nabnab's several messages, each getting darker as you go on. Then you go through these tunnels. They're kind of broken. And then you see another character on the wall. Where have we seen that guy before? Then you're met with the Banban's kindergarten playground room, but isn't really there for long because you eventually just go in this room. And when you go in, you hear someone talk to you, shaming you for what you've done. Then you go over here to read this note, but then Sad Josh comes in, and that's where the first entry ends. The second entry starts at the immediate aftermath of the first. And then you go through this little vent right here, seeing this on the way. Then you're over here, you have to choose wisely for these platforms or else you die. Pay attention to the light color, I wonder what that could mean. Jump on the red light because the light color is red, it's pretty obvious. And then go over here. Then you see, oh my god, Magic Jerry's dead! Then Sad Josh punches through the wall and disappears. I don't really know, man. And then you're in these spiral wavy hallways. Now going in this room introduces you to the new family mural, seeing everyone on the list. You go down this hallway thinking that's an exit, but the door opens and you fall deeper into the kindergarten. Then you see, oh my god, Magic Jerry got kidnapped! Then a bunch of filler later, you notice the new character, Jack, and he starts chasing you menacingly through the hallway. You must escape or else he's going to kill you. Once you fall down, you're now in the sewers, and in the grimy muck water. Going past all the disgusting water, I'd guess, you're now in this area, which is honestly the coolest environment, and it's still not that great. Then you jump down here to go through this hallway, and you see a flickering light. Then you enter this room, and oh my gosh, he's okay! Then you see Magic Jerry get wombo comboed, and Sad Josh just phases through the wall. And now we're about to get an epic battle. Oh, never mind. Bumper Bill decided to come in and stab him in the face, so, I guess that's it for Sad Josh. Then you go down this room over here, fall down, and that's the end of the entry. Upon opening the third game, you are introduced to the new character, Dr. Dan. Then you go down this non-menacing hallway, and you see, oh my gosh, it's Dr. Dan! But then he disappears into ashes. Then you do some stairs and a bit of parkour, and you're at the remains of Sad Josh with a terrible plane to show his blood. Seriously, what was I doing here? You then reunite with Dr. Dan and Magic Jerry, and Magic Jerry's now helping you. He tells you there was a lever here all along that could open this door, so cool move, bro. And upon going in there, you are met with Bumper Bill, the one and only Bumper Bill. and you go through a long, slow, and boring conversation with him. He tells you he wants to show you something, so he takes you into a dream sequence. In the dream sequence, you wake up on a train with Magic Jerry, Bumper Bill, Jack, and Dr. Dan. Magic Jerry insists that Bumper Bill is driving the train, but he says he's not, so they're curious on who is actually. And then Huggy Wuggy shows up. What? After the dream sequence, you wake up and Bumper Bill is somewhere else. Anyways, a bunch of more filler later, you are into the emergency survival house, which is literally just a hammer, but shut up. Anyways, you reunite with Magic Jerry and Dr. Dan. After a bit of talking, Dr. Dan reveals that he is evil all along and he can actually talk. He tells us to leave the room, so we go into this maze. We hear gunshots and we assume the worst. Magic Jerry has been shot. If you get this reference, you're an unk. Before we can grieve the loss of Magic Jerry, Dr. Dan starts chasing us, trying to kill us. We assume this is an exit, but we fall through the floor and find out it was all a trick. And that's where the third entry ends. Okay, so it's no shocker that these games are pretty bad. Like, there are still some really bad bugs, and that's not to say that if the bugs were gone, it would make the game good. No, the story doesn't really do anything to your mission, and it doesn't really do a good job at explaining the story anyway. Also, it just kind of feels like you're just rushing through the game. Like, it's just a mission that you're going through that you have no idea what you're doing, and it kind of just all happens really fast. I can't believe at the time I made this, I actually expected it to be taken seriously. And it kinda was, but for the most part, it was mostly a joke. And that's all I think of it now. Overall, it's pretty crazy to see how much I improved on game development since these games. And I can honestly take these games as a lesson to do better for game development. Anyways, go play Smiley's Rec Center on itch.io. And Dotix out.